Welcome to the History Hunter, welcome to our small adventures with the WW2 time frame. We are going back for the second time to the German WW2 airfield area, and we are going to a flak anti-aircraft gun hill that the Germans put up there to protect their investments, the aircrafts, so they could go out and bomb the Allies. In part one, if you haven't seen it, I'll show a link here where it says more, click that. Watch that first and full, and then you get the better context of what is going on. In part one, we are finding pretty cool, interesting artifacts from the position, and now we're going to do part two, and I hope that you will enjoy that as well. If you want to help us out, watch the videos in full. Each and every second actually helps us to rank up there in the YouTube algorithm. So are you ready? Let's go out and find the path together at this German World War II airfield and the flak gun hill. By the way, there are two hills. There's that one, which is slowly going apart. They're blasting it away. Everything's going to be flat in the end. So that is why I'm here. It's going to be taken away completely. And you have this position here. And you have a huge, massive German World War II airstrip down there. So we have this bunker or complex area where they had the fire and control bunker and observation post, all of that. And then they had the air defense position up here. And that is basically what's going on. These are basically my tools. I have a macro multi-cruiser metal detector with a sniper head, a sniper coil, very small to get in between. Got a set of gloves, pinpointer, which actually uses like this. It just detects metal, so it's easy to find small cartridges and stuff, and a little digging tool. That's basically it. And that is what I've done. I set it up with a 3-tone program, and we're basically ready to go. You know, when you metal detect places like this, you never know what the next target's going to be. It could be a tiny little pull tab from a Coca-Cola can from nowadays. It could be the actual artifact, beautiful artifact. It could be a helmet, could be a rifle, could be a cartridge, could be a belt buckle. It's all here. It could be, but it's all a matter of spending time trying to find what's here. And I'm doing the metal detecting, and I really enjoy that because it gives me peace, gives me quiet. I can go around like this, having my own little thing inside my head, and I also can imagine what's going on here and what happened. And by finding the small little artifacts, I can kind of have my own little puzzle put together in my head, so I can kind of go back in time and say, okay, this is this place, this is what happened, and based on what we just find at the ground. Got a target there, I'm going to do that. Massive, I don't know, lid or cover or something in aluminium. That could very well come from the aircraft, actually, at the airfield. How strange is that? Pure aluminium. That's strange. I hope you did see part one, because you can see we found a cave. I think it's a munition or refuge shelter. And I think there's something going on in the ground here as well. So we're going to work this flat area here first. We're going to go figure out, was there something in that little dip there? And then we're going to go up to the 20mm position where we found the 20mm brass cartridge. So let's crack on here. These are big pieces of what I think is the barrack that must have been behind me. I'll show you that in a minute. These metal pieces are from that. Did you know that you can become a World War II History Hunter team member, and the artifacts here could be passed on to you in this manner and fashion here by creating beautiful World War II dioramas and displays? You can be the future keeper of something very, very special by the history and the history hunting that we share together. Check out the link in the video description. You can click that and you can become a Patreon team member if you want to. Different kind of perks with for your eyes only videos, travel vlogs, restoration projects, all of that good stuff. And if you want to know more, check out the supporter videos in the beginning of each month. But now let's continue our little adventure. Yeah, definitely. I think this is what's called Kalikon. Let's see if I can find a picture of it. This is German toothpaste, actually. This thing here next to what used to be this barrack, and this tip is on there as well. I'm gonna try and open it, and I'm gonna smell it. You gotta be freaking, actually, it smells like some kind of toothpaste. That is crazy. German toothpaste from the Luftwaffe guard crews right there. That's a 90. The 20mm very often comes out as something like this, 20mm cartridges that we found in part 1. It could also be a massive, huge piece of iron. It kind of fools us, but we will just dig into it and see. I think I missed the target maybe a little bit. Just incredibly dry here. Is it really deep? It's a beautiful day out here today. What is going on here? Okay. There's something there. Is that it? No, it's a massive piece of something. What the heck is that? That looks interesting to say the least. Maybe there was an ear strip here. That is absolutely interesting. What is that? That little thing? Could that be some piece of gear for something that they used up here? That is absolutely interesting. That's coming with us. I'll clean it up and we'll figure out what it is. I cleaned it up. I did. I really cleaned it up good. And it comes out like this. There's a marking here. I think it says 1939 right there. It's full aluminium, and inside here there's a steel piece, and inside here there are some electrical kind of connections. You can't see it, but there's two kind of connections in there, cable coming out, and there's even a number on the side here which I cannot make out. I can see a 4 and a 3 and a 2. I haven't got a clue, but that's what is so exciting doing the metal detecting, because you never know what you're going to find. As we found the 20mm, we found out that is for that one. We found out details about the spoon. We found this tag, which is marked with the German writing, the SUG, meaning standing for train. I haven't got a clue what that is, but it's so cool to find these pieces. And if you find something like this, which Eagle Eyes, my son, found at another Luftwaffe position. This is a very early Luftwaffe belt buckle, and that was just boom right there, and suddenly my son found it. It's interesting. And here you have a bomb detonator for a German WW2 bomb, and it's marked with numbers and details. So that's what's so interesting with the metal detecting, because you can find pieces, you can dig into them and research and find out what they're for, and then you get better context of what's going on. But let's go out and continue the little hunt here. Pretty insignificant little lid. It's a lid for a food container that the Germans had. It's in aluminium, and I know why it's here, because right in there they tucked away a little barrack. So this is what they threw outside. So when you're inside the barrack area, you think that, wow, there could be so many cool things. Basically, there's not. I found a belt buckle inside the barrack area. I found actually a full belt. I found we found the Mauser K98 bayonet, but normally it's just scrap. To find some buttons here that is like metal on the top, very often it's just huge pieces of what was on the roof. and you can see here it's just totally gone. Material that was probably on the roof, water drainage. So there's not that much to find in places like this, and why is there a massive signal under this thing here? Ow! Ow! I have some pads, so ants don't like ants, they are angry. So something is under here. Just leave them. They're gonna be angry. They're gonna bite me. They're gonna get their revenge. I'm gonna continue around here. What is that? Oh, I don't know. That looks like a. I think I know exactly what that is, especially when I see this cap. This I think is a ink pot. Let me show you a picture of one that is complete. Well, I think I would do even better. These are different kind of ink pots that we find out there, and this I think is probably the type that we found because of the lid. Some of them are actually still with the bluish blackish ink, and we find them all over Europe. And just imagine Lieutenant Hans sitting there up in that little barrack, writing the report of the events of the night when the Allies tried to bomb the area, or maybe he was actually writing a felt post back home to the loved ones, and he used that ink. And I have one ink pot at another location which is almost full, and you can dip a typical pen from that time frame and write with it even today. And that is what makes even that little detail there so interesting, because you know that that is what they used and that is what we found. All right, let's continue. So we left off here. This is a near defense fighting position, just made out of bricks and rocks and concrete, but it was meant to put a machine gun in there and they could cover the whole flank next to me. And then there are different kind of positions all over the hill, and that is basically what's going on here. So we found pieces further down there, and now we're working ourselves towards the top, where there was a 20mm machine gun position, several machine guns, mortar position, and the guards were definitely up here protecting the area. I could hardly believe my eyes. I got this wooden thing up and was like, what is that? And then there's a cartridge inside, and then I opened it, and how the heck can that be inside there? And I think could it really be a wooden tipped practice? This is a mouse around for sure, but what is going on? I think someone can't be a. That is crazy. It was inside here. I think someone jammed it inside, and I think that is definitely a mouse. With wartime correct cartridge. I'll see if I can figure out what it is. That is most definitely German. P345, is it 36 or 38? And someone jammed that into a piece of wood. How crazy. And look where I am. I'm just next to another of these fighting positions. And it's fired. So was it used against the enemy? He was hiding behind here, but why did he knock it into wood? That is those small little mysteries that I love by going out and doing metal detecting. It doesn't matter for me what I find. If I can find something special like this, I'm really, really happy actually. When you're here, you have to use your imagination. You have to imagine Hans, Wilhelm, Franz, Reinhard. They were here, Luftwaffe guard crew, and they were right here at this position. And right down there, one of them actually tossed down a cartridge. That is either a Mauser or a MG cartridge. As I said, Hans, Wilhelm or Friedrich, they never saw that cartridge again. But we see it now, and that's a proof that they were here. That little cartridge is kind of what inspires me to let my imagination flow. Because was it Hans, was it Jürgen, was it Reinhard, Wilhelm? Who did that and why did they do it. It is so interesting. So I'm gonna figure out what we have here, and then I'm gonna think why did anyone want to shove that cartridge into a piece of wood? And then we come so many years after and we find that, and I can share it with you. That is just amazing. And there's another one. This is from the Allies when they came in. So we have Allied coming in after the war, taking over, and we have German munitions spent during the Second World War trying to get the Allies. And Wilfred, he did that. Another one. Beautiful. I know they're just tiny cartridges and probably super boring, but for me it tells so much about the location, tells me about the activity level, tells me about what kind of weapon they had, and also by the day it tells me exactly when this was made. So the puzzle can be put together to create a bigger, larger kind of context, and that is basically what I like to do. So that is just tiny small cartridges, but suddenly when you have these cartridges you can kind of imagine, okay, these rounds were for a 792 caliber. All right, so what could the Germans have had there then? Well, first of all, most likely most of the German soldiers could have had a carbine or K98. And that's the rifle this soldier is shooting. And also, we knew that they had machine guns to protect both the airfield and the hill itself. So they could very easily have had something like this. And if you imagine, this is a German K98 clip with all of the cartridges in there, found on the Eastern Front near the Berlin area. And this is a machine gun belt found in a SS position at a forest near the Polish border. So that is what I love, when you, even though you just find tiny details like this, they tell you so much about what happened there and what took place there. So another little find, and I'm just loving that. So right here you can see they did a cutout in the mountain, and they put a little mound here, and they placed that guard barrack in the middle here. And it is easy to see when you know what to look for in there. I think the fireplace has collapsed with the bricks there. And you can imagine this thing here, there would probably be camouflage canvas hooks being stretched over the rooftop of the barrack down to this side. They might have come in a passage here, and you can see right there some bricks. There's actually some ceramics. It will come from this position, indeed, glass. So when I come up all the way to here, I will be on the inner wall. You can see this square. That is where they tucked away the barrack. There's another near defense position. They're basically just concrete and rocks, and then you can take shelter on either side. Pretty special. And they are all over the terrain here. So they just, it seems like it's randomly placed, but I think they decided that, well, if the enemy would come from this side, we could stay here. If the enemy come from this side, we can stay on that side. So pretty ingenious. Then I'm going to take on the top. This is where the 20mm stood, right here on the very top here, right here. You can see the round mound here, and the 20mm cartridge we found was found just down the hill, right there. There's an air defense position right there. There's an air defense position right there. The barrack was just down there. There's an air defense position there. There used to be a flak 20 there. There's an air defense position there. There's a cave in the mountain. It's everywhere. And this is what I like. Today was not that fantastic when it comes to finds, but again, it's not about that. It's about to find the location, to research, travel, explore, and just have a good time out there. And I really did have a good time, and I hope you did as well. Thank you for being here, everybody. Thank you for very, very kind support. Yes, exactly. Thank you for being here, everybody. And thank you for joining me in this little quest for history. And we really did find history out there. And that's the result of all the great support coming in. If you want to help us to reach more locations, feel free to use this little super thanks feature here. That's your opportunity to maybe help us out to put some gasoline into the fuel tank, and we can go out and find more of these beautiful artifacts that you saw that we're actually going to pass on to you. So we did find that was 20mm anti-aircraft guns there. We found pieces of maybe the daily life of writing a letter or a report, and we found this spoon with the soldiers eating from that. We found this little tag with the strange word of sug, meaning train, and then we have the cartridges, 792s. We actually found a lot, and I'm happy. I'm really happy. I want to say thank you to all our Patreon team members and all of you donating on PayPal. Absolutely appreciate it. And to all of you who watch, subscribe, comment, thank you for being here. And as I said, if you watch the videos in full, you're going to help us out tremendously. And ranking of YouTube, algorithm, blah, 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 all of that, that is helpful. So, all right, we're going to do the second hild next time. It's not going to be now, it's going to be later. So I'm going to share that with you as well. Until then, please stay safe, keep smiling, and I will definitely see you out there looking for some more history, and we're definitely going to share with you. Bye bye.